the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine. It's a place I love best, 'cause it's better than the rest. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. There's lights that burn so brightly, in the northeast sky they shine. From the place that Geordies worship, where legends wear number 9. You can travel right round the world, even meet the Pope in Rome. But nothing beats the feeling of when you come back here to home. No matter how life changes, we'll never be far apart. The northeast always home, and it's always in your heart. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV. And yes, we're going to have a little look at Saturday's game, but then also during the show, what we're going to discuss is we're going to look at the remaining fixtures that we have left going forward from Sunday, and where points could be won or lost or drew, whatever. So it's your idea to get involved with the chat as well. Tell us what you think. When we go through the fixtures, do you think it'll be a win, lose, draw? You know, just get your thoughts in and have a bit of fun. But I've joined by, as I say, Pete and Roly tonight. How are you guys?
Very well, Tony.
Well, I've got over the mauling at the weekend, just about.
Just about. Yeah, it's been lovely here today. It's been warm all day, sunny and warm. It's been absolutely glorious. It's like summer again, but wasn't like that on Saturday. And yeah. So before I get into the show, if you like what you see, then please smash the likes. It really does help the channel up with search results. So if you can smash those likes, it takes 1 second to hit that thumbs up. Thank you very much. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, then please hit the subscribe. Free to do so, helps the channel grow. Bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record or any upcoming shows. There is a link in the chat. If you'd like to make a donation, just click the link and follow the instructions. Currently on 487 subscribers, so only 13 away now from 500, which is absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much to everybody so far. And also, finally, if you've never checked it out, then please head to northwestmags.com. It's a fantastic website set up by Sefton Mag, who will be in the chat. And yeah, just have a look, and there is lots to do. So I'm going to get into some comments first. Bia Vayton says, evening. Good evening to you, Bia. Hope you're well, mate. Sefton's in the house. Evening, all. Evening, Sefton. Mason says, evening, all. Evening to you, Mason. Hope you're well. Ian says, evening to everybody. Evening to you, Ian. I hope you're very well indeed, mate. And Sefton says, evening, Tony and Roly and Pete. Good evening, Sefton.
Sefton.
You well, Sefton?
I mean, I'll come to Pete in a moment, but I'll come to you first, Roly, because obviously me and Pete done on Pete's channel last night. We done the match review last night and match ratings. And I'm not going to put you through the player ratings tonight, Roly. But I mean, Roly, we went to Villa Park. We weren't the heroes. We were certainly the villains on Saturday. You know, tell us and tell everybody watching your thoughts on the game on Saturday.
Well,
before that, what was your expectations of the game before the kickoff?
I was going to say, well, they made me look a muppet because I had the scoreline right, but I just had it the wrong way round. I hadn't been impressed with Villa going into the game. I thought we could beat them and could be comfortable. But I wouldn't be surprised if that's the best game they've played this season. And we were awful. I don't think I've seen a display like that since last season. And probably in the under Eddie Howe, it'd be in the early days of his tenure at St James's. So I was really disappointed. We were second best for everything. The passing wasn't there. The defense was, I think the last time we defended that badly was last season against Man City, when they put 5 past us. But that game, it was just we were being naive chasing the game. We were never at the races on this one. Never at the races. They were better than us in just about every department.
Yeah.
I mean, I think when it's 1-0, we had a chance to get back in the game, and Martinez made the save from Isak. That's about the only bright spark. One of the things I thought was interesting, I saw in an article today that Longstaff wasn't dropped as such. It's just he had a bout of tonsillitis and they didn't think he was fit to start the game. And you can see the difference it made with him out of the team, with the energy in the team and the press. So hopefully he's fully fit for Sunday. I thought, again, it's hard to single out players because everyone was poor. So it wouldn't be right to single out individual players for poor performances because it applied to everybody. Even Bruno was poor. so it's just, I put it down, bad day at the office. We got it wrong. The main thing is that Eddie will have analysed it and they put what went wrong right for Spurs because we beat Spurs. Right, it doesn't lock down a Champions League place, but it makes it that much closer because it puts it puts a 7-point gap between us and Spurs because of our goal difference. Mm-hmm. I think that's the other thing. The other blessing is that we've got such a good goal difference. Losing 3 doesn't change that. And then we actually was on up the Cherries Knoll department last night, talking to Craig and thanking them for beating Spurs because that took some of the sting out of the defeat. So that was it's good, but yeah, it was tails behind between legs time coming away from Villa Park. They gave us a good spanking, but I think in some respects, as a fan base, I think we might be starting to get a bit complacent because we played so well so far in the season that it's even more shocking when we do get beat like that. Man City wasn't shocking because we know how good Man City are, and we gave them a game. The shocking thing about this one was that we didn't give them a game. They didn't have to work for it, and it could have been more. I don't mind losing. I don't mind being beaten by a team that plays better on the day, but I'd like to at least make a game of it for some portion of the game. Even in the bad old days, we'd start brightly and then go behind and then fall apart. But at least we started brightly and were given a game for a portion of the match. But on Saturday, I don't think at any point in the game that really gave them a game, which is the disappointing part.
Yeah, I mean, it was disappointing, Roly. I mean, we just did not turn up at all. Villa thoroughly deserved their 3-0 win. Could have been more had Pope not saved us in that game. But all in all, it was a bad day at the office. I mean, Longstaff was kept out because of a tonsillitis issue, which is fair enough. But there was just nothing I saw from that game. I mean, Anthony Gordon, he got a start, which after what happened at Brentford, everybody was like, yes, that's great, he's getting a start. He played him on the left. I think it was more to try and attack Ashley Young. So I kind of saw where he was trying to come from there. But to me, he didn't do what. I mean, I'll also Anthony Gordon in some words now because, you know, as I say, we all wanted to see him start. But did Anthony Gordon do much in that first half? No. Did he use his pace in that first half? No. Was he effective at all in the 55 minutes he was on the field? No. Was it a mistake to maybe pick him? No, because it was a chance for him to shine. Has he failed his audition for starting? Yes. Now I want to see him played on the right because against Man United, he looked better on the right than he did on the left against Villa. And I just want to see more from him on the right. I'm not going to judge the guy yet. I know there's a lot of people out there probably want to judge him, but I do not want to judge him at the moment. I want to see what he can do for the rest of the season if he does play on the right. Then in the summer, he has a full pre-season under Eddie Howe. Then we will see next season where Anthony Gordon is as a player in a better way because he'll have had that full pre-season under Eddie Howe. I mean, Pete, do you agree with that with Anthony Gordon? Do you think he needs a full pre-season to see what he's...
Absolutely he does. He really, really does. Because that's where he's going to get judged upon the most because we've only bought him in January. You like to judge a player on a full season than half a season as well. Yeah. So
he's hardly played as well. So
there you are. He hasn't.
And I think again, it does him an injustice to judge him on the game on Saturday. I know you said he didn't. He had a couple of decent runs, but to be honest, the whole team were pants. So it's going to be pants. So you can't really. It's unfair to judge him on his performance on that game because everybody was bad. So he didn't stick. He didn't stick out as being any worse than anybody else on the pitch.
Only Pope and Longstaff come out with top marks of 5 each. Apart from that, the rest of them were below that. You know.
It was more like a Bruce Ball performance than an Eddie performance.
Yeah.
Well, if that was under Bruce, that would be more than 3 for Villa easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, but I mean, it happens. Even better teams than us have bad days, and Man City have lost some of the games they've lost this season. You think, how the hell did they lose to them? Was it? Did they lose to Bournemouth? Wasn't it? It's one of the teams down the bottom they lost to this season.
I know they drew at Forest, didn't they?
Yeah, I think they got beat by Bournemouth for some reason. I'm not 100% sure on that. I know they got beaten by some of the teams at the bottom. We've played 30 games at a really high level, and we've drawn games we should have won. We've lost a couple we should have lost. We've won a few that maybe we shouldn't have won. And this time we've lost a game we should have lost. So you can't say at the end of the day, hats off to Villa. They did surprise me. They were a lot better than I thought they were. I'm not sure it was just the hype of this game, two teams in good form, results-wise. And we didn't turn up. They did. They looked a good side. That's a very good side. Is that because we played so badly, or are they that good? But yeah, they thoroughly deserve the win. They deserve to be. So we got to the point in the season where you deserve to be where you are. Once you've gone 30, 31 games, you know where you are as a team. They're in the European places, so they're a very good side. We're in the Champions League places, so we're a very good side. We just had an off day.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just going to jump into some comments. So Sefton, this was a message towards Pete. I got back from Manchester Airport 3 a.m. The moral of the story is that I don't volunteer to do a favour. Because Pete asked him where was he going on holiday last night. He said, no, I'm picking up. Mason, He says, "I've seen on the Daily Mail that the Glazers could be staying at Man U." Poor Sinclair. I mean, do you know what? I would love that if the Glazers turned around and say they're not selling. That would be total brilliant, wouldn't it? And the Man United fans would be going into total meltdown. I Like Coffee says, "Good evening, Tony, PD, Roly and all." He's doing the Emery, "Good evening." Less of the Emery coffee, please.
Yeah.
Andrew, with his big specs on.
I've got a word to say to Coffee. You were coming over the last fence at the National. Mr. Kofi was in the lead. They went backwards. And I put money on it because of you.
Well, it's all right because Saturday was a winner for me because I had Corrick Rambler who romped home. And I tell you what, I was off my seat. Come on. And he come home and it was absolutely fantastic.
I had that. I had, forget which one came in fifth, but I had that one.
Yeah.
It was,
Coffee says Man U fans are more excited about us losing than Villa.
I think it was the big
absolutely.
Dog. Yeah, it's the big dog that came in fifth.
Big dog. Yeah.
So
I had fourth as well, Noble Yates.
I do each way, so I'll get a little bit back from that. But
that's what I did.
I just kept thinking, Mr. He's in the lead. He's been in the lead for too long. You need to be in the pack and then come late in the National because it's such a grueling race.
That's why Corrick Rambler was hanging back and then all of a sudden he just romped home.
Because they come over. I mean, I think the thing about it, when they get over the last, they've still got the best part of half a mile to go.
Yeah.
It's about 3 furlongs or something they've got to go once they come off the last?
Yeah.
It's just under half. Because you think, oh, great, he's in the lead. And then you think, he's still got a bloody long way to run. And it happened last year that one of the horses I bet on came over the last in the lead. And then it looks like he's gone into reverse because the poor horse's knackers.
Yeah. Gary D, good evening all. Good evening to you, Gary. Hope you're well.
Hello, Gary.
Coffee says Puke Edwards is listed 16 players in our summer shopping list. Realistically, how many can we say? Well, this is the same Puke Edwards that's actually said we've only got 20 million to spend this summer as well. I mean, how does this guy know our bloody transfer budget? I would really love to know. The guy's a muppet. Well, I'll tell you now, the thing is, though, I don't know how many of them players will realistically sign, but there'll be one player we are definitely not signing in the summer. And I know Pete's going to be disappointed, but we are not having this player, Pete. Harry Maguire. We are not having Harry Maguire. And I know Pete loves this. That's why I put it back on. There you go. Uncle Festa is Harry Maguire. The blinking Maguire.
I mean, the thing about that article, if it is true, we're going to go after some decent players. I think there's a list of 11 or so players. And if apparently the story is saying we're going to push it for 4-star players. Well, it's the sort of thing, it could be 5 because Marcus Thuram's on that list and he's on a free transfer. So I don't know about any of the others. So if they are going to go big, they've got people like Declan Rice, obviously Maddison, Diaby, Osimhen.
Carter Kashilia.
Yeah, I was thinking I can't pronounce his name. Calvin Phillips, Ivan Toney.
Oh, do you want Calvin Phillips? Do you want Calvin Phillips, Pete?
Not when he's played very little.
Yeah, I think he's been injured a lot this season, but he was really good at Leeds. I think something else is on there. There are a few, they're mainly Premier League players. I think obviously Conor Gallagher was back on there. I think that if they're going to push the boat out, I think we'll be looking for better than Gallagher.
Yeah.
But there are some interesting names on there. So Victor Osimhen was on there. That's it. But I think this is all providing that we make it into the Champions League. Yeah.
Ian says, I'm not as concerned about Saturday as I would have been. I'm happy with 4th at the start of the season, absolutely. They said, evening, Tony, Pete and Roly, I've been away for the weekend, being in Darlow. Oh, I hope you've had a good time in Darlington, mate, and I hope you've had a great time. What have you been doing there? Sefton says, restructuring our website, lads. All Black and White TV, PD, and Loaded Mag on the YouTube page. And thanks for supporting Northwest Mags. No problem. Thanks very much indeed, Sefton. Harry Maguire looks more like Lurch than Uncle Fester, says Coffee. Lurch. McIntyre, Freddie Flintstone. Michael McIntyre.
Oh,
God. I mean, today, our under-21s played Norwich City and won 4-3 in Premier League 2. Yep. And what a talent who got the first goal for Newcastle today. What an absolute talent. Why isn't he in the first team? Ryan Fraser. He scored the first goal to put Newcastle 1-0 up from across from Ashby. Harrison Ashby set that up. And of course, Harrison Ashby made it 2-0 to Newcastle and got a goal. That's great to see, because now that means he should be pushing for a place on the bench now, at least, Pete, shouldn't he?
Should be. Could well be. Certainly could well be. I think we've brought this lad in for a reason now.
Yeah, I mean,
future Trippier replacement.
Yeah, he's had a hamstring injury shortly after he arrived, so he's been out for a while. So it's good to see him back playing for the 21. So, yeah, hopefully he'll be appearing on the bench and getting a few minutes run out as the season closes out. Because we're going to need him next season, because we're going to have to rotate more with the European games.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, we'll have to. We'll just have to see what happens on that front. But hopefully, he's getting better in fitness now, and hopefully that just means then he gets into and onto the bench, and that'll just be absolutely fantastic if he makes the bench, because it's somebody you can just bring on and say, right, give him 20 minutes, take Kieran Trippier off, give Trippier a rest maybe for 20 minutes, and say, right, there you go. Harrison, get yourself on there and show the fans what you can do. You know, I mean, this guy's going to be a star. I mean, the thing is, though, West Ham losing him for $3 million, that's an error for them, but you wouldn't sign a new deal.
Yeah. A lot of the West Ham fans were really upset that he was leaving. I mean, they knew he wasn't going to sign a contract in the summer when we went after him in the first place. But I think they thought they could convince him to stay. But I mean, all summer, the West Ham mates were saying that, he's coming to Newcastle. And then obviously we had a look at Fresneda in the build-up to January. But it sort of reminds me about the summer when we're looking at left-backs.
Yes.
All these other left-backs were looked at, and we ended up signing Matt Targett on a permanent. I think this is I think they've always wanted Harrison, but they're also looking for, as the plan is, to build up the youth. And I think they're thinking if they get Fresneda for a decent price, it's worth pursuing. But I think Ashby was always the number one target.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you're spot on there. I mean, I'll just bring this picture on screen now, and I'm doing this just to give Coffee a bit of a laugh. And actually, it's probably more a resemblance anyway. But here is Harry Maguire. Lurch.
I actually think that's better with the forehead. And
I think it looks like him, Pete.
Another bit.
Yeah, it's that forehead.
So there you are. There's Harry Maguire. Oh God! Honestly, the stuff we do on Yara, it's just absolutely hilarious, isn't it? I mean, it's just But I mean, I'm going to bring one player up on screen. I mean, we were linked with this guy years ago, quite a few years ago. We were probably about maybe about 6-7 years ago. Could be even longer. I can't remember how long ago it was now, but it was quite a while back. And let's see if you can remember who he is. you remember that player we were linked with? He went on to play for Marseille.
See from the. Let me just.
It was a one we all thought was a bloody wind-up by the name.
No, I don't recognise him.
He's 41 now, but his name is Rod Fanny. Do you remember that, Pete?
I
Do you remember we were linked to him, Rod Fanny? And everybody was joking about it, saying, "Oh, can you imagine? Is he going to be like a Fanny in a fit on the field, or or if he has a bad game, they'll say you're a Fanny." But yeah, that was a player that we looked at quite a long time ago. I think it could have been under Pardew, actually. So yeah, at the time he was one of the best left backs in France, believe it or not. But we didn't sign him. But no, thank God we did. Not with a name like that. Certainly wouldn't want Fanny on the back of his shirt. Oh, you get some belters, don't you? BS says, of all the games to lose, it had to be the Birmingham Mackhams. Harry Satellite Dish, he says Andrew.
Well, so, suppose the other thing about the game on Saturday is that if you look at it over the two matches, we won 4-3.
Yeah.
On aggregate.
Lee says, out to see family and friends, a few drinks with a couple of Newcastle fans. Great night, absolutely brilliant. Nice one, Lee. Lee says, Harry Maguire is a new Freddie Flintstone. Jake says, Granny in the back, Fanny in the attack. Andrew says, a few war lads played like a Fanny on Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah, quite.
Oh, God.
Oh, God, Mason. So, I mean, it's just brilliant, isn't it? So, I mean, right. So, what I'm going to do now is we're going to look at the fixtures. Okay. So, I mean, right. This is our running to the end of the season. I'll read the fixtures out. So, obviously, we know we're at home to Spurs on Saturday. Following Thursday, we travel to Everton, the Skip Rats. Then on the Sunday, we're home to Southampton. Then we're at home to Arsenal. Then away to Leeds United for a lunchtime kickoff. Then we're at home to Leicester City. Then we're away to Chelsea, last game of the season. Now,
still got Brighton to play as well.
And we've still got Brighton to play, but we don't know when that's going to be fitted in at the moment. So that's a game that's got to be fitted in somewhere along the lane. So we'll come to Brighton soon. But, I mean, Pete, I'll come to you. I mean, Tottenham Hotspur, right. Mm-hmm. I look at Spurs and I think they haven't improved since Conte has gone. In fact, they've done nothing since Conte has gone. I think Stellini's kept the same system. He's playing the same way as Conte, and they're still getting nowhere. I mean, Bournemouth went there. They were 1-0 down, came back and beat them 3-2. Now, Bournemouth thoroughly deserved to win that game 3-2. And I think Bournemouth, that win on Saturday was massive for them because now they're in a great position for staying up in the Premier League. And well done to Gary O'Neill in his first managerial post. Now, the thing is, Pete, you look at Spurs, they're so disjointed.
Yeah.
We know the cheating twat Harry Kane's going to be there, the England captain who doesn't get into trouble off the Premier League because he's England captain, so they won't touch him. You get so much protection. I mean, I'm not going to say we're going to go out there and hammer Spurs 4, 5 or 6-0. But I can see us well beating Spurs on Sunday because I can see us being up for this match on Sunday and the players know the horse one.
Absolutely, yes. As you mentioned, Spurs, very not a great side. Or the only thing that keeps them going is Son and Kane. The rest of the team, not very high rated. I've got to admit, I know they've got some injuries as well. So I think we can beat them. I think we'll be up for that, definitely. because they're not going to like our attack force. They're really, really not. The crowd gets behind the lads. The lads will perform on Sunday because that's what St James's Park is like on a match day now. And we get the first goal, they're going to feel rattled because they'll find it hard to come back in away. Because hopefully our defence will be more focused because they'll know they'll have to stop Son and Harry Kane from coming forward. But I think our midfield is better than theirs. Our defence is better than theirs as well. I mean, but if you're getting 3 goals get put past you against a team that was in a massive relegation battle, who are now looking to have got a chance of staying up now, what does that tell you? Lloris, very error-prone this season as well.
He is, Pete. I mean, he's not the keeper he was, is he? And I mean, I've got a Spurs fan Thursday, so I will speak to Harry on Thursday and ask him his thoughts on his team this season. But and I'm sure he'll give me an honest description of his team. But I mean, yeah, Spurs. I'm not. Do you know what? I'm not even frightened of them, to be fair. And it's going to be like I know when we played them in that game on the first day of the ownership being taken over, the new owners, the first game was Spurs and we lost 3-2. But to be honest, I don't fear Spurs at all, and I think we could win the game quite comfortably. I mean, Paul says we can win all our home games, and I wouldn't be worried about Leeds, Chelsea, and Everton. That's fair enough. I mean, Roly, looking at Spurs on, and I think Paul's got a good point there, by the way. But looking at Spurs on Sunday, Roly, are you frightened of Tottenham Hotspur and Harry Kane and Son?
At the moment, Spurs are a bit of a basket case. They're all over the place, but they can on occasion turn up. But I don't think even if they do turn up that they'll beat us. I think that the guys are going to be hungry to put right Saturday's performance. I mean, they all know that they didn't do well enough. Hopefully the Longstaff will be fit to start the game, because I mean, at the beginning of the season, he's getting lambasted by a lot of the support, but of late, he's been superb, and you can see the difference in the midfield without him. But I think, as I said before, our defence is better than theirs, our midfield is better than theirs, and I think our front three is better than theirs. Even with Murphy playing, because he didn't have a great game on Saturday, but again, no one else did.
Yeah,
and he's got a run of games, and he's been really good. I think Isaac is good, but again, he was ineffective on Saturday because the whole team was ineffective.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an interesting lineup for Sunday. I think if Longstaff's fit, he comes straight back into the side. Then I think they'll put Joe Linton wide left, and then it's a case of who he starts on the right. And I think he might start with Miggy. Miggy's fit.
Could well do. I mean, I apologise because I did say this morning. I thought that I did say the 4:30 kickoff, and I forgot it wasn't 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock kickoff. Normally we get the late ones when we're playing nicer Spurs now. But
because the cup semi-finals on at 4:30. Yeah, that's right, Ian. Cheers, mate. I think I did say Sunday. I did say sort of Saturday, and I went no Sunday. B.R. Vacant says Stellini looks like an Italian Toby mug. Coffee says, you think foreigner refs would win the game for them? I don't think it's going to make any difference.
No.
I mean, on Saturday, the ref was shocking. But I don't think even if he'd been the greatest ref in history, reffing the perfect refereeing performance, I don't think it would change the result.
Yeah. He says, hi, guys.
Hey, Clarky.
Hi, Clarky. Yes, Spurs' second goal, Kane was offside. Position obstructing the ref's view. VAR gave the goal. Harry Maguire handball, blatant penalty. VAR waves it off. We will get no favours from VAR. We need just finish teams off. We need to do it without the help of VAR.
Absolutely.
Our game will get the Moby alarm test, says Mighty Mag. And Clarky says, looking forward to seeing a rejuvenated Miggy, absolutely.
It's good to see him get on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so the next game after that, Peter, is Everton away on the Thursday night. Another Thursday night against Everton after last season. We go to Goodison Park, home of the Skip Rats. The Scouts Mackhams, as we like to call them. We obviously want to help plunge them further down and hopefully relegate them. Last season, we lost a Warby in the last minute. Dubravka's position was all wrong for the goal. If he had just stood up more, he would have saved that and it would never have been a goal. I mean, Everton have been poor. Let's be real here. And we need to go down there and beat them. If we want to finish in the top four, we got to be finishing teams like Everton off. I mean, I'm going to say we'll get 3 points in that game. What about you, Pete?
I believe we will. I know we lost last season, but we had Chris Wood up front. This game will either be Isak or Wilson. Probably be Isak. And Everton are just... They're a really poor side this season. I know they're still just hovering outside the bottom three. But, if they get done by this FFP, you get the points deduction, they're gone completely. Which could... But I think we could turn Everton over down there this time. Because we'll have a bit more attack-minded in the team as well. That's what we'll be most like. We can get at their defence. It concede lots of goals as well. And they're getting 3 goals put past them against a Fulham team with no Mitrovic. And Fulham was struggling without him as well.
Yeah.
So I think we could beat Everton down there.
So I'm a little worried for the game on Thursday because they might have their best player back from last season. That stop oil idiot that zip tied himself to the post. That's what lost us the game because the pace was flat. They were being outplayed. He zip tied himself to the post. The crowd got back into it, and they fluked a goal. About the only decent thing they did in the whole game. And I hope he's not back. And they better check everybody for zip ties as they go into the Everton end, the Gladys Street end. Or whether any of these protesters who tried to stop the Grand National turn up. That's my biggest worry. Sorry, Pete.
Speaking of this, Spoil, this is not football, but this is some breaking news from Sky Sports. This is related to snooker. Police suspended as a protester interrupts the World Snooker Championship, and he's got on a shirt, "Just Stop Oil."
Oh, God. Unbelievable. Well, this is a scene Roly's on about from last season. There you go. And, I mean, I'm not being funny. They're looking for something to cut the tag. But if you look at that steward, look at the teeth on him. Why didn't he cut through the bloody cable tie?
Look at that.
He's got some gnashers on him.
It's Jurgen Klopp moonlighting.
In disguise. So there he is, Harry Potter. Little fucking idiot what he was. Excuse my French, but he's that type of guy. I'm sorry, if I was a steward, I would just bitch slap him. Never mind bloody take him off the post. I hope he did get a good slapping. Probably he got a stand ovation from the Everton fans. Yeah,
because he was their best player. He was their man of the season. But I mean,
that's what BS says. Everton had an assist from Just Stop Oil.
Well, if I can be political for for a while. It's a stupid concept because our whole economy and world is based around oil, from everything you use to fertilizers. It's just such a stupid concept.
Yeah.
But
it's like all these people who say, oh, we're all against Saudi ownership at Newcastle United and all this and all Saudi this, Saudi that. What they forget is they fill that cars up. That comes from Saudi Arabia, the oil, for the fuel.
Mm-hmm.
They watch Disney Plus, so that's part of PIF. They watch BT Sports, part of PIF.
They go to Starbucks, part of PIF.
Part of PIF.
Uber, part of
PIF. On
PIF.
Facebook, part of PIF.
Yes.
What's that? Is that one of well, Twitter's not
it
anymore.
Just makes you laugh, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's just one of those things that it's the whole Saudi thing with Newcastle is that the big clubs are really pissed that they've got some real competition, and the teams at the bottom are pissed that they've got one team less to fight with to stay in the division.
Coffee's comment: Harry Potter and Wormtail. Lee says 5-win for Newcastle away at Everton. I think he means 5-0 away to Everton. I mean,
if we've got our shooting boots on, it could be.
Yeah.
But so we need to get a good victory against Spurs on Sunday to set us up for the Everton game. They're a terrible side. They're powder puff up front and can't defend. If we're at them, we should beat them comfortably.
Yeah. So then on the 30th of April, which is a Sunday, that's 3 days after the Everton game, we're on TV again. Yes, so this is the third TV date in a row. And we are playing Southampton at home, Pete. And Southampton, they are gone in. I'm sorry, as far as I'm concerned, Southampton are relegated because I know they're not mathematically relegated, but I watched them on I watched the highlights on Saturday. They looked absolutely woeful against Palace. They had chances, but they looked absolutely out of sorts. They looked lost. They look a team that's just destined for the championship. If we don't beat Southampton at home, I'd be very surprised. I think we would hammer them at home. In all honesty, Pete.
Yep.
And I just think will help confirm their relegation. They may not be confirmed then, but will certainly help them on their way back to the championship, and we'll certainly give them a wave after the game and say, bye-bye, because we won't see you next season.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, I can see a win comfortable as well. I think Southampton are just pretty much doom and gloom now. They don't look like they're going to win a football match now. I think they're just accepting that their fate in the championship is about to come very, very soon now. I know we stuck 4 past them down at St Mary's and we went at our best.
No.
How many could we stick past them if we are at our best as well? Which is what you wonder because, well, if Southampton can't beat teams that are around them now, well, I think that just proves that they're losing hope completely now.
Yeah, absolutely, Pete. And they just look poor, and even the manager doesn't even look like he should be a manager in the Premier League. He just doesn't. He just seems a bit clueless, to be fair.
Apart from Ward-Prowse and a couple of players, who do you rate out that Southampton team?
Yes, Ward-Prowse, Walker-Peters, and that's about it.
Ward-Prowse, Walker-Peters, yeah.
They've
Jay
got
Adams on his day, maybe.
They've got that young French lad, was it
Mara?
Who could...
Mara.
Yeah, but he's only, was he 19, 20?
Yeah, very young lad.
Very young lad, but...
I'll tell you another good player they've got on that side. Sulemana, he's a good player.
Yeah.
He's not bad as well. But Adam Armstrong was never the answer to them.
No.
He's just championship standard, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, very good
He
champions.
loved it when he scored against us.
And they've got really poor at the back.
Yeah.
That Coletta car, he's dreadful, him, like.
Arsenal car, yeah.
Coletta car.
And tomato ketchup, he's not any better, is he? Bella ketchup.
Um,
He's from Germany. I wonder if his middle name's Heinz.
yeah. I mean, I think obviously in the Cup semi-finals, we didn't sort of tear them apart. Partly the St Mary's was because of poor finishing. We made it tough for ourselves at St James's in the second leg, and I think that was more to do with the occasion and what was at stake than the team itself. I mean, they're classic dead man walking at the moment. You can see it in the way that the players carry themselves. They know they're down, barring a miracle, and they haven't got Jesus as their manager, so I don't see one of them coming round. But no, they're a very poor side. I think they'll end up bottom. We don't beat them. That would be a big shock. But yeah, it's one that we should be looking to take all 3 points and pad out our goal difference a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Bia says, at least the Everton fan got his knife back. Do you know what it is, Bia? I'm still seething from that because the Premier League should have took action against them. How the hell? And why is Stuart hands a knife back to somebody in the crowd? I don't care. People are saying it's a work knife. I don't care if it's a work knife. It's a defensive weapon.
You're carrying an offensive weapon on you, and that's illegal.
The only time you should be carrying a knife in a football ground is if in your hospitality and you're having your meal. It's the only time you should have a knife in a football ground.
Sefton says, I was up in the gods at Goodison for that game, and if you hate heights, don't do it. Lee says, Southampton, the zombie team. Southampton are really poor. So we're all agreed we're going to get 3 points there. So if we're going to get 3 points from them games, that's 9 points straight away. Right.
That puts us on 64, doesn't it? 65.
So a week after we play Southampton, we're on TV again. We've got another date with TV. And this is on Sky. We play Arsenal at home. Arsenal, do we call them the bottlers? Because it looks like they may just bottle the Premier League title at this rate. I'll come to you first, Roly. Arsenal at home. Last season, we tore them apart by possession-wise, the way we played. We only won 2-0, but we still won the game, but we absolutely ripped them apart. We ended their Champions League hopes last season, which sent our fans into meltdown, saying that Arteta should have been sacked. I bet they're not saying that now. I mean, Arsenal at home, how do you see that game, Roly? Do you see that as a draw or a win for us? Or do you think it's a dodgy one?
It could be anything. Because I don't know if you saw their game against West Ham yesterday. The first 20 minutes, they were electric. And they sort of switched off, let West Ham back in the game. And they were very, very lucky to walk away from the London Stadium with a point. West Ham were all over them. Their passing broke down. It just were they missed the penalty, Arsenal, but they aren't the team they were at the beginning of the season, and I think that being chased by a rabid dog of the Man City, so can sort of hear the footsteps behind them. If they can pull themselves together, they could get a point. They could even beat us because when they're on top of the game, they're a very good side, as we find out when we went down to Highbury. But will the occasion get to them? We'll have a rabbit in James's Park. We're still fighting for Champions League. Last season, we weren't fighting for anything, and we absolutely destroyed them. So it could go either way.
Yeah, I think so.
I think points. I wouldn't be disappointed with a point.
Yeah. And
I'd want to win, but I wouldn't be disappointed with a point because they are a very good side. You're not top of the Premier League for most of the season if you're a bad side.
No, absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely. That one will be a hard game in a way, but I wouldn't be surprised if we were up for it again.
Yeah, nor would I.
I mean, it all depends how this title race is going to go still. I mean, if Man City are above them, it could be. I think Saliba's a massive miss for them because I think he's been brilliant this season for them.
He has, hasn't he?
And to replace someone for him to come out and then the backups there, Rob Holden of all people. It's just an average defender in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm going to say drawn that game at least anyway.
Yeah.
I'll be happy with a point.
I think they know they need to win, but I think they'll be more cautious than they were at Highbury. Not Highbury, I mean the Emirates.
Emirates, I was going to say, Highbury's long gone. It's a housing state now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Arsenal fans say they prefer Highbury over Emirates.
I think I've been to Highbury before, and I tell you
I've been to Highbury as well.
The atmosphere is better at Highbury, to be fair, I thought.
I've been to Highbury and it was really nice.
But it's a difficult one because, as I said, you don't know what state Arsenal are going to be if by that time. I mean, they're dropping points left, right, and centre at the moment, and if Manchester City are above them, are they going to be in panic mode, or if they're only a point above them? It's squeaky bum time, and maybe the pressure will get to them, and we are good enough to beat them at home. But it could go either way. That's why I'm pumping for a draw.
Yeah, that's a fair enough one. So we're going to see a draw on that one.
Takes us up to 10.
Yeah, exactly. Right, Pete. So the following week we're on BT Sport on the Saturday, 12:30 kickoff, away to Ellen Road. Ellen Road, the scene where last season we got our second win of the season. John Joe Shelby free kick, and we held on against the Leeds side that were really rattling, trying to get an equaliser under Bielsa. Totally different Leeds team now. They just look a total shadow of themselves since they got rid of Bielsa, to be honest. They should have got relegated last season. Brentford should have beat them on the final day, in all honesty. But Brentford didn't turn up in that game. So Leeds stayed up on that, or else they would have gone. I can see we're going down there and winning, but not just winning by the odd goal. I can see it being 2 or 3 goals there. Pete, what about you?
Yeah, same. I think Leeds concede loads of goals as well. I mean, if you're getting Palace put 5 past you, what does that tell you as well? And I still think they're really in this relegation battle. I think it's going to be them or Everton to take that 3rd spot for relegation. I think it's Southampton or Leicester going for me. And it's Everton or Leeds to take that 3rd spot, in my opinion, still.
Yeah. So you're seeing 3 points as well, Pete.
Yep.
Roly, your thoughts on Leeds?
I think we'll win, but I don't think it'll be that easy. I mean, I've got it on the background, the Liverpool Leeds game at Ellen Road at the moment. So Liverpool have all the possession. It's Leeds that look the more dangerous side. They break quickly. They've got some good people up front that are quick. But again, it's away from home. Will they have the crowd? Will the crowd get up for it? It can be an intimidating place to play. I still think we'll win, but I don't think it will be as like a walk in the park.
Yeah. They've got some decent attack players, but I think they've got a poor defensive.
Yeah, that's the problem. Again, say if we can get up early and rattle them,
I mean,
they can fall apart.
That Luke Ayling, I think he's crapping.
He's horrendous, isn't he?
Yeah. And that Robin Koch, whoever he's called.
He is a cock as well, isn't he?
He's crap as well.
Defensively, they're not.
Bamford's not a Premier League
striker now.
No, and he's made of glass completely as well.
Yeah. And I do like that Aronson. I think he's got a lot of energy and he's got the ability.
He's not bad. Same with Harrison. That Rodrigo's not bad either as well.
No.
Yeah, so I think we're all sort of going for a win on that. And I just want to bring something on the screen, and obviously this is not football related. I just thought I'd just show a picture. This is what Pete mentioned about the breaking news about the protester at the World Championship snooker, and there he is there. He's obviously poured something on the table, and like a dust substance or a smoke bomb or whatever it is. And what an absolute bellend, I'm sorry. And I'm not being funny, what snooker got to do with oil, but, probably because of a sponsor maybe, but I'm not giving him more airtime than he deserves because he doesn't deserve any airtime whatsoever. But I just thought I'd show it.
Waffled him with one of the snooker cues. Just stop oil or just stop you.
Yeah. Just go through a few comments before we go to the next games. Coffee says, how did Southampton make it difficult for us in the Carabao Cup? I think because we were a bit nervous in that home leg, and obviously Che Adams scored after we were 2-0 up. And they did attack us a lot. So they did make it a bit difficult for us, but we did come through it, and that's the main thing. Big ups, says Niall. Big ups to you, Niall. Big Arsenal fan as well as Niall. So, yeah. Sefton says, because every team wants to beat us, I like Coffee. And he says it's jealousy, basically. Absolutely, Sefton. Yep. So, Pete, the next game is after Leeds. It's a home game. And at the moment, it is not a TV game. Fingers crossed. It's not a TV game at the moment, and we're at home to Leicester City on a 3:00 kickoff.
Can I just ask you something?
Sorry?
Why are you saying fingers crossed it's not a TV game?
Why?
Yeah.
Because I want to try and get up to that game if I can.
Okay. No, because I love it being on TV because that helps us with our FFP. I think we've been on TV more than any other club this season. I think it started off because they wanted to see us fail, and then now it's because we lost out. We might actually qualify for the Champions League, so they want to see if we do or not. So it's
possibility, but
I like it. But I think Leicester. Going back to the Leicester game, I think Leicester again are a dead man walking.
I think so. I'm not convinced that Dean Smith is going to be the successor. Hey, they went too bad against Manchester City, but still, I don't know.
Yeah, they're one of those teams that...
You're muted, Tony, I believe, are you?
No, I'm not muted. I got cut off for some reason. It just timed out. I don't know if this...
Yeah.
Must be the broadband or something.
No, just saying about the Leicester game that... They're a bit like a dead man walking. Their players are better than their position, but their position is they're there out of merit. I mean, there are teams with better players that have gone down than Leicester have. Look at that West Ham side that went down. I think they got 42 points and went down with Defoe, Lampard, Ferdinand, Joe Cole. Well, that's a better team than the Leicester team. When you're in the position that they are in and have been for so long, I mean, we know it from our relegation battles. When you're inside and the games are running out, it almost becomes an expectation that you're going to lose games, and then when you expect to lose them, you do. And I think Leicester are almost in that sort of phase of the season where they've changed manager. It hasn't really helped them. Then the players lose belief. They try too hard. They don't want the ball. They don't want to take risks, and it all just ends up in relegation. I mean, they have players that, when you look at the players they've got, they shouldn't be where they are, but they are, and they're there for a reason because they've just not been a good team.
Yeah.
I expect to take all three points there.
Yeah, I think we'll beat Leicester. The only way it'll be on TV is if Leicester are in still that relegation trouble, and that could, if potentially depending where they are, it could be the fact that They need a win to stay up. If they lose or a draw, it doesn't help them. And that's the only way I think it might be changed to a TV game if it's for that fact alone.
So how many games was that? Was that the 5th game that we've gone through?
That's the second last game of the season.
Second last game. It could be that if they don't win, they go down, which is another reason why they could be televised.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, Roly. I think that's what it could be. Yeah, it could be. Obviously, we've got to fit the Brighton game in somewhere.
That's going to be a tough one.
Brighton's going to be tough, Pete. They've got some great players. We've seen another product of that South Americans coming through. 19-year-old and Cisco scored a terrific goal on Saturday against Chelsea.
How good was that?
Oh, brilliant.
I mean, Pete, Brighton, I'll take a point now. And that's saying something about Brighton.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we can just beat them as well. It all depends what their position is, because they're fighting for a European spot still.
And they're still in the cup as well. So
yeah, absolutely.
If they've made the cup final, they may have the same problem we had when we got to the Carabao Cup final.
It could be, absolutely. Hopefully they have a good cup. I think a great cup run would be great for Brighton. I think they've got a chance of winning it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't write them off for not winning it. It's going to be hard, but you would still fancy us as well, the way we're just playing at the moment. I know Villa was a write-off, but when we've been great, when we've been great at home this season as well, so teams just don't like playing up
again. It's one of those ones that if we don't turn up, we can quite easily get beat because they are a very good side. If we turn up, we could beat them comfortably.
Yep.
So it's a tough one to call. I'd take, as Tony said, I'd take a point. I'd be happy with a point. The 1, 2, 3, happy with a point, but we could lose that one. I'm not saying we will, but we could.
Yeah. So, and then obviously Chelsea away, last game of the season. Chelsea are in disarray. They're an awful team. Now, I don't know if you saw, but Sam Matterface, who was a Chelsea fan, also an ITV commentator for the football, he said he was on with the ex-Sunderland left-back, Mickey Gray, and he said to Mickey Gray, look, he said, just don't know what's wrong with Chelsea. He says, they just don't seem right. He says, I don't know if it's, he says, I just don't know what's wrong with them. They just seem to be a team of individuals. And he says, if I'm honest, he says, it looks like a team that doesn't want to be in Europe because they're frightened of getting 7th place because them players don't want to play in the Europa Conference League. Mickey Gray, the ex-Sunderland left-back, said, well, to be fair, he says, I don't know who brought the players in. Was it Potter? Was it Todd Bowley? Was it Tuchel? He says, it's more like the owner to me. And then Mickey Gray says, the thing is, he says, I've been in dressing rooms, he says, if you've got one player in that dressing room that doesn't like the manager and he's got his best mates around him, he'll say to his mates, look, can't stand that manager, he's just sat to that. Then you've got about 4 or 5 players joining in and saying, oh, we don't like the manager. Once you lose a dressing room, he says, you can't get it back, you'll never get it back. He says, it's really hard. And he says, that's the way I look at Chelsea. And to be fair with Mickey Gray, he did seem to talk a bit of sense because he did say, the problem with Chelsea is, he says, they may get a new manager in the summer. He says, now the manager may come in and say, 8 of these players are not part of my plan. I want them gone. I want me only 8 players in. And that's going to create a problem because they're on big contracts as well. So Chelsea's a club in a mess. And even Simon Jordan's come out and said, Todd Bowley doesn't know what he's actually doing. And I tell you what, it is... If I was a Chelsea fan, which I'm not, but if I was a Chelsea fan or any Chelsea fans out there, they must be bloody worried by having that man in charge, Peter.
Oh, it must be. I think he's wasted a lot of money as well. He's just panic-eyed. He's not analysed it properly and thinking, right, this is what we need to do. He just goes in, he looks good, we'll just have him.
Yeah. I mean, Chelsea wasting a lot of money. my comment to that is, oh, blast, dearie me.
I think I've seen, I forgot it was, one Chelsea fan's thing and said he feels like he doesn't want to go back anymore. I forgot who it was, but it was on Twitter, and he said, he said, I feel like I don't want to go back. I paid so much money to get a season ticket, and all I'm seeing is this in recent games.
Yeah.
In terms of performances.
Yeah, I mean they say they're not a team.
And I don't know why bring Lampard back.
Yeah, I was just about to say that they've got Super Frank Lampard managing to see what a mess
he got sacked. He got sacked for a reason. He was shocking at Everton. He was on the verge. If he stayed at Everton, Everton were destined to go definitely down 100%.
I mean, they'd be if he'd stayed, they'd probably be bottom. Rather than the drop.
Maybe a Chelsea legend, but he's a shit manager, just like Ollie was at Man United.
Yeah.
Just becoming a legend of a player doesn't make you a good manager at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, Pete. I mean, I can see us going down there and winning that game. Can you, Pete?
Yeah. You know what? I know we've got a rotten run at Stamford Bridge at the moment. I think we've not won there since 2012 when Cisse scored that blinder. But I think we've lost all the remaining games up until then. But you know what? But we only just lost last season.
We're robbed.
Yeah.
We were robbed because we didn't get a penalty and have it sort of seen off who scored the goal. It wouldn't surprise me if we can win it and that rot at Chelsea as well.
Well, there's one good stat this season. We haven't lost in London yet.
I was going to say, because
we haven't.
The headlines when we went down to London was capital punishment. But the other day, after the Brentford win, they put it as the title's now capital gains. We've not lost there.
Capital gains.
No, I know. Because we've beaten Spurs.
We drew with Arsenal, beat Brentford, beat West Ham, beat Fulham.
Yes, we got draws at Arsenal and Palace.
Yeah.
I'll just go into some comments, but I think by then, Pete, in there, Roly, I think we'll be basically in a Champions League place by then. Anyway, we should have it done by then, shouldn't we?
We should be.
Yeah, because I think we beat Spurs on Sunday, and then I think they go to Old Trafford after that.
Yeah. Coffee says, looks like orange tang powder, that. Mason says, totally I'm the same because I'm going to Wembley with Gateshead on that weekend.
Wow,
yeah, because Gateshead are at Wembley. I wouldn't mind going down there, I tell you, to see Gateshead play. There's probably still tickets going. I don't know how much they are. Coffee says, did Shaka really say Bruno will be sold in the summer? I don't know. I've not heard that one, Coffee.
I had seen about it, but
it's probably a joke.
Yeah.
I think we'll
build said that someone offers 120 million plus. But even then, I don't think that they'll actually take that because it's central to everything that we're doing. They say we're not a selling club anymore.
Yeah. Coffee says the brought back Lampard for good vibes.
Good vibes and losing football matches.
Right, Pete, I've got a question for you from Sefton, your good friend. He says, Pete, what's on your T-shirt? It looks cool. I want one.
It's a Metallica T-shirt.
There you go, Sefton, Metallica. Get yourself online and have a look. Coffee says, Man U fans pointing to Wembley when we say we haven't lost in London. Well, yeah, but that's in the league. That's a difference. Yeah. Mason says the tickets are £25. That's not bad, is it?
No, not bad at all.
And Sefton says, what's on Rory's top?
It says, does my head look bald in this?
Pete likes that one.
That's good, that one.
I loved it. Got it for my birthday from the other half, and I saw it and just burst out laughing. Love it.
Right. Now, I did start a question earlier because I thought it'd be something that I'd want to bring up a little bit later on. So, Coffee asked a question, and he's just in case Coffee's thinking, oh, he hasn't read my question out. Well, I am reading it out, Coffee, so I'm reading it out now. So Coffee's question is, and I'll come round the table. So I'll start with you, Pete. Does Byrne retain his place at left back from this weekend?
I think he needs taken out. I think he really needs taken out now for possibly depends. And I think Target should be given the chance now. I thought Byrne was woeful on Saturday. He got absolutely ripped apart from the likes of Watkins, Ramsey, even Ashley Young as well. Would you believe it?
Mm.
Yeah.
I think he needs taken out, and there's a lot of fans that have said the same now. Give Target a chance now and see what he can do, because Byrne's getting really. I think he's getting worked out or found out at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely, Pete. What's your thoughts on that, Roly, on Coffee's question?
Yeah, I have to agree that you need to take him out. It's shocking against Villa, but he's had a string of bad performances of late. I think you give Matty Target a go. And I think that our play down the left our attacking play down the left will improve because he will overlap. And I think that's one of the things that, when he was fit, didn't help Maxi, is that that he had no one overlapping, so everybody knew it's had to be him.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, I'm in agreement as well. I think Byrne needs to come out of the team now. I think he's had a great run in the team. I think he's done very well, but I think he's now starting to. I think we're starting to tell now that he's run out of steam. Like you say, give Matty Target a chance, and then in the summer, I think we go out and buy a left back. Sorry, and I think someone in like Grimaldi, who's on a free, would be a tremendous signing. Sefton's laughing at yours, and Lee says, "Class T-shirt, Roly." So Lee likes it. Yeah. But I mean, I'm going to bring up the Premier League table as it stands now, because obviously there's a live game at the moment, so the Premier League is actually live as it stands. So here is the Premier League table. When we get to the top, there we go. So obviously we can see Arsenal's there at the top on 74 points. Man City, one game in hand over Arsenal on 70 points, win that game in hand, and they're in touch and distance, basically. Then Man U come on 59 points, then we come on 56, followed by Tottenham on 53 and Villa on 50. Now, I look at that table there, and the thing is, Pete, if we beat Tottenham on Sunday, and then they've got Man U midweek at home, and Man U beat them, we are then 6 points ahead of Tottenham Hotspur. You could see we're technically 7 points ahead with that goal difference as well. Yeah. I think that is going to stop Tottenham are nowhere near going to get Champions League if they lose to us and then Man United.
No, definitely not. So it'd be great to get that win. Beat Everton as well. And let's see how Spurs cope, because Spurs drop points away from home.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well. The only thing
not only that though, Pete, they could end up falling out the top 7 altogether, because I mean, look at Brighton, they're only 4 points behind them.
Absolutely, yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if Villa end up 5th.
Yeah, and Brighton 6th maybe, and Liverpool 7th, and Tottenham out of the top 7. I would love to see what Levy thinks then.
Oh,
I'd prefer if Liverpool weren't in the top 7.
Well, no, we wouldn't. Yeah, I'd rather have Brentford up there, to be fair.
Yeah, that is. I mean, it was just so funny with Liverpool not making Europe and Everton getting relegated. That'd be like all my Christmases come at once living here on Merseyside.
I mean, we'll go further down the table now. It's a long way down. There's Chelsea there. They're in 11th. Look. 3 points ahead of Palace. And Wolves are catching them up as well. I mean, you know, if Chelsea don't win any more games and Palace and Wolves win, and even Bournemouth, Chelsea could be as low as 14th place. I mean, that would be embarrassing, wouldn't it, Pete?
Oh, it would be, wouldn't it? I think this is their worst season they've had, isn't it? It's one of the worst seasons they've had, hasn't it?
Well, since Abramovich took over, yeah, it'd be one of the worst seasons they've had. I think a lot of the younger viewers don't remember when Chelsea were like Newcastle, would yo-yo between the top and the top tier and the second tier of the league.
I remember Chelsea doing that. Yeah,
I remember challenging Chelsea for promotion when Keegan was playing. I had the like of Kerry Dixon and David Speedy.
Yes.
They were always a yo-yo team, like we'd be. And it's only when they got bought by Abramovich that they actually started getting good players and challenging and winning titles and cups. So I said, "Oh, Chelsea are a big club." Well, they can say that now, but they weren't before.
No, I mean, I go at the bottom of the table now. I mean, Pete, I mean, it's great to not be involved in a relegation battle. It's nice to watch other teams being involved in it and having a good speculate to see who will go down. I mean, you look at Bournemouth, Pete, they're 14th on 33 points. And they're 6 points ahead of Forest and Everton, who are on 27 points. You've got to basically more than likely say Bournemouth are more than likely safe now. Probably one more win does it for them.
I think one more win.
I think four more points and that should do it.
Yeah. I mean, Forest, maybe they were robbed against Man United. Forest have got Southampton next, I think. And if they beat Southampton at home, that'll get them out the relegation zone. And that'll drop Everton in there. I mean, Pete, who's your tips to go down still? I mean, I know Southampton's probably nailed on, Pete, but who else do you think will join Southampton?
Leicester, and I said between Leeds and Everton.
Yeah. If I had to say you could only make one choice now, Pete, who would it be?
Oh, who would it be?
Put you on the spot now, I'm not, mate.
I would say I know Leeds could score, but
Leeds,
Everton are there as well, and it's just...
Leeds have just gone behind. I think they're checking VAR for a handball.
Oh God. Liverpool, it's all right. They'll get it anyway.
Yeah,
Liverpool.
It should be ruled out because the ball comes down to Arnold. Is being played away, and Arnold moves his elbow to block it.
Yeah. So you're going. You're going Leeds, are you, Pete?
Leeds or Everton. Oh,
yeah, it's a hard one, isn't it? But I think, like you say, Pete, if Everton get a points deduction, they're gone. So yeah.
I mean,
Roly,
I think
before I come to you, sorry, Roly, before I come to you, can I just say thank you to Ian Fleming for your £5 donation, mate. Thank you very much. That's much appreciated. So sorry, Roly.
We've let the goal stand.
Have they?
Yeah.
Oh, Liverpool at their best day.
That's the only. I mean, that's about their only. That's the only shot on target. It's a tap in, but it should have been a handball because he turned and he did move his elbow out to make it bigger, his body bigger. Yeah. He's been ruled out.
I've got EFC fan TV and Bournemouth fan TV, and he's a good lad. He is. He says 14th table, Bournemouth 33 points, and the next game's West Ham at home. Do you know what it is? I think you're safe, matey. I really do. And I'll tell you what, Gary O'Neill has done a terrific job, considering it was his first managerial post. And, I had Craig on, and he sort of said before you played us at the Vitality, in an ideal way, he would have liked to have a new manager in, because I know you were getting a bit sceptical of Gary O'Neill. But do you know what? He's turned it around for you, and do you know what? Well done too. And I really can see you staying up now. I don't think you're in trouble, to be fair. And I think, I'll tell you now, you'll beat West Ham at your place because you've beat quite a good few teams at your place. We were lucky to come away with a point.
Yeah, I think they'll end up with over 40 points.
Yeah, I do. So who's your tip for going down, Roly, your three?
Southampton, Leicester, and I think it'll be Everton. I think that's with or without a points deduction. I think that Forest will scrape out enough points at home. Maybe fluke a point away from home. I feel that. I think Everton will get maybe 33 points, which isn't going to be enough.
I mean, you say about Forest, Roly. I mean, right? We look at what they've got coming up, Roly. I'll go, and obviously Pete as well. I'll go through. So Saturday, Forest have got Liverpool away. Then they've got Brighton at home on the Wednesday. Then they're away to Brentford. Then they're home to Southampton on the 8th of May. Then they're away to Chelsea. Then they're home to Arsenal. And last game is away to Palace.
It's 2-0 now. Yeah, it's a tough run in. I think they can get something against Chelsea. I don't see why they can't win that one. Southampton at home. Then the Palace, they may be able to get a draw.
Yeah. I would say if they don't beat Southampton at home, they're down.
Yeah, I think so. Mm-hmm. That's excluding a points deduction for Everton.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. I'm just going to go through some more comments. Bia says, Bowley was in the changing room at half-time on Saturday. He's getting rattled. Yeah, isn't he just?
Yeah, 2-0. Salah's just scored.
Yeah.
Salah, is it?
Yeah. I mean, Liverpool have been woeful. Leeds have been the better team, but they're now 2 down.
Leicester, Leeds, they can see goals. Their defence is just
full of holes, is it?
On Saturday's game for Chelsea, this guy in the level above Bowley was berating him above. They played fantasy football and they forgot to engage the cheat mode.
Yeah. Bias says blatant handball.
Yeah.
Coffee says, what has Hodgson done differently that Vieira couldn't do?
He's
got them some points.
I would say, yeah, he has. I think he's got the more attack player now. I think he's now he's played people in his correct positions now. Mm-hmm. That Vieira wasn't doing. Like, I think Vieira was playing that Elise as a centre midfield when he's a winger. Vieira wasn't playing Eze a lot, whereas Hodgson has, and I think Eze is a terrific player.
Yeah,
for them as well.
Jamie Rubin wants him at Newcastle because he used to have him at QPR, didn't he? So he knows what he's like.
Yeah, I think he's given Edouard a chance as well up front. I think he's going for it now, Roy Hodgson.
Yeah,
it's almost as if that Vieira had lost the dressing room because the difference.
I think Vieira was putting players out of position and it just wasn't working.
Well, maybe the players that he had couldn't play the way he wanted to play. I know he'd been there for a season and a bit, but you don't turn over the whole squad in that time. Players he had didn't suit the way he wanted to play.
Yes, says VAR is so corrupt. Gary says 1-0 up Liverpool, lads. Yep.
2-0 now.
It's 2-0, Gary. Coffee says Bowley in the changing room trying to sub himself on. Gary says Nottingham Forest have a hard running, lads. But there's a few games there they could win, no?
But if Everton get this points deduction, I'll be goodbye for them.
Joe Linton, he says, Sky are putting Will Villa beat us to the Champions League. No. I can't see it in all honesty. I
mean, they're 6 points behind us and we've got a game in hand.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a lot to make up in 7 days.
I can't see it, to be fair. No, I can't see it in all honesty. I mean, I just look at their fixtures, Villa, and I'll just tell you who they've got coming up. So on Saturday, they're away to they're away to Brentford on Saturday, which isn't easy.
Yeah.
Then they're at home to Fulham, which is again not an easy game. They're then away to Man United. Then they're away to Wolves, who are playing terrific at the moment. Wolves. Then they're at home to Tottenham. Then they're away to Liverpool. Then they're at home to Brighton. So yeah, last game of the season, Brighton. I can't see them beating Brighton. In all honesty,
I don't think they're going to get. Providing that we perform, they're not going to get close to us.
Then the next game they've got Villa is they've got us down as a home team against Villa on a midnight kickoff UK time on the 24th of July 2023. That's when we're playing in that tournament in America. Midnight UK time. Joe Linton says Sky said we have to play City too.
Yeah, I saw that. I think we played them twice.
We have played them twice, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're thinking that. I think Sky are getting ourselves a bit muddled up, yeah.
I think they're, because I saw that thing, and I think they were mistaking us for Chelsea.
Yeah.
Man City for Chelsea.
Ian says, did you read Agbonlaho's comments on Sunday? I haven't seen them. I'm going to have to have a look. But
I try to avoid reading his bull.
Agbonla crap, yeah. And it's again, Ian, thank you for your donation, mate. Much appreciated. Gary says, I know I have the game on the other phone, lads. That's no problem, Gary. Bia says, Liverpool fans just threw a ball onto the pitch when Leeds were in Liverpool's box. Refs stopped it, the drop ball.
Yeah,
they'll try any tricks. I mean, you know, we've seen the Mackhams do it. You know, they threw a beach ball on and they scored with a beach ball and with a bounce off the beach ball and won the game. You know, and yes, it's the anniversary today, isn't it? If you know, from 2006. You know, 1-0 down, 4-1 up. Albert Luki wraps it up. Do you remember that? Hey,
oh yes.
I tell you what. They looked poor that day Sunday. I mean, when they went 1-0 up through Justin Hoyt, I thought, how the hell are we losing this game against the team that are relegated in the bottom of the league?
John Linton. Oh, God.
When three people come to Gabby Agbon, the horror's created. Like that one, Roly?
Oh, that's brilliant.
Class. Okay, now. Oh, God. He wasn't that good of a player, though, was he? Agbon,
No,
No, he wasn't. I don't think he ever scored against her.
It is bang average at best.
Yeah. Did he make an England team? I think he did, didn't he? Once or twice, but not a lot. He was just crap, wasn't he? Bull crap, really. Yeah. But that's like Agbon. Yeah, average. Joe Linton says one of the people isn't even human, was a hippo. Gary says, "Oh, Man City for Leicester City, lads." Yeah, could have been Leicester City there on about. But there again, why would we be worried about playing bloody Leicester City? We'd be playing them at St James's Park. Just Sky, you're just trying to wind people up, but don't take the bait. Don't take the bait. That's what I say. At the end of the day, destiny's in our own hands, and if we go out there and put in a positive performance Sunday and win the game, even if we win 2 or 3-0, that puts a marker down. That we've had defeats before and we've bounced back straight away. Let's do it again on Sunday.
Absolutely.
We got beat off City. 2-0, and if we were on our game, we would have beat them because they weren't that great that day, Man City. And then the week after, we played Wolves and beat them 2-1. So, there's no reason why we can't come back from this on Sunday and win the game. Spurs are on an awful run of form, and they look really awful all over the pitch. So, and we can cause them a lot of problems on Sunday. And the last time we played them, we didn't have Isak playing for us because he was injured. So, But guys and girls, we're coming to the end of the show now, and it's been a great show. Another terrific show. We've spoke a little bit about Saturday's game, then we've had a look at the fixtures coming up, and we've had some laughs about obviously we've seen the Gaviak Bonlahor laugh there from Joe Linton, and we've seen obviously Harry Maguire's been on the screen. There he is, making an appearance again. I think he's looking for the ball, isn't he? Because he's lost it. He's like, oh fuck, where's the ball gone? And we saw the Harry Potter thing from last season with the steward with the teeth on that. I mean, how he didn't cut through them with his teeth is beyond me, because they look as sharp as razors. But yeah, so all in all, it's been a great show, and as usual, I'll come round the table. Lee says, been spot on, lads. Thank you very much indeed, Lee. Roly, do you want to let people know where they can find you on your many socials, please? Thank you.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at Pole67. Just like it says.
Lovely. Lovely. Thank you very much indeed, Roly. And Pete, do you want to let people know where they can find you, my friend?
Yes, you can find me on my channel, PD Proudlock. I'll be back tomorrow, 8:15 with the Premier League review show. So come and join me and the guys in the live chat for that, where we'll look back on all the games at the weekend, and of course tonight as well. And follow me on my Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all PD Proudlock as well.
Oh, that's great. Thank you very much indeed, Pete. Ian says, great show, lads. Thank you very much, Ian. Yeah, it's been a laugh as well. We always have a laugh on here. That's the thing, but we always like to have a good old laugh and good old banter. But guys and girls, if you like what you see, then please smash the like. It does help the channel to search results. So if you haven't smashed that like, please do so on your way out. It takes 1 second. Thank you. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, then please hit the subscribe. Free to do so. Helps the channel grow, and the bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows. And as I say, I'm on 487 subscribers, so I'm only 13 away now from 500 and halfway to 1,000. So that'd be great if I managed to smash the 500 by the end of the week. Sefton says, great show, lads. Off Wiedersehen all. Off Wiedersehen, Sefton. And if you did want to make a donation to the channel, there is a link in the chat. Just click the link and follow the instructions, as Ian did earlier on. So thank you very much again, Ian, for your donation. You can find me on Twitter at TonyTooney31. So if you give me a follow, I'll follow you back. If you're not already following me, obviously you know where I am on my channel. I will be back with a show of some sort tomorrow, so do keep an eye out for that one. Thursday, I do have a special guest coming on, a Spurs fan on Thursday, to do the preview. A lad called Harry Scarf, so he'll be coming on, and nice young man, and giving me his thoughts on his team, Tottenham Hotspur, and what he thinks about that season so far. Should be an interesting one to hear what he's got to say about Spurs. Gary says, they did the Monster Mash, it was a graveyard smash, lol. Yeah, I know what you mean, Gary. That's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, you mean for that. Harry Maguire. But Pete loves this one as well. Actually, that looks like Ten Hag. There's Ten Hag blinking. Oh, where's Rashford? I can't see him. There we are. That's Ten Hag. And there's his skipper, Maguire. Oh, gosh, you've got to have a laugh, haven't you? Bye from the sexy Mag, says Sefton. Bye, Sefton.
I wondered when that was going to pop up again.
Ian, bye, Sexton. He meant Sefton. I was going to say, don't start it, Ian, don't, because I tell you now, Ian, it's going to his head, this sexy Mag thing, and, soon he's going to be signing autographs for people, but he's going to charge you for a photograph and all this, and soon he's going to be in the VIP club. So I don't know what his wife thinks of all this, but But it's been a cracking show, guys, and thank you very much. And as I say, I should be back tomorrow with the show, so I'm got an idea what I might come back with, but you'll have to find out, won't you? But until then, guys, it's goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from me.
And me as well.
Remember, the future's bright, the future's black and white. How are the lads? Bye-bye.